That's why
Oh, okay. We live. Hey,
I'm
everybody.
sorry. Hey, hi, hey.
But no, no, no. I understand because I got some short ribs that I got to get
Ooh,
and put into the slow cooker. So I need to go outside and I can't be on here all day because
all day.
I'm in the cooking mood. I'm gonna make some Brussels sprouts and some mac and cheese. It's gonna be a good day. It's gonna be a good
No,
day.
that sounds like a good day. Listen, after we are done recording, I have a cold, so I am right now drinking ginger ale, which is the black people medicine. I'm usually a water guy. I don't drink anything but water, but I felt like today I wanted to really push through this and make sure this recording happened. So sometimes you got to go with the old standards. The ancestors were right about some things.
I appreciate you being here. And you were the one that picked this topic. I want to just point that out. And I was like, you know what? This is a good topic. Do people still read books? Now, I know what I do.
Hmm.
But let's start with why you wanted to talk about this. And I think it's an important topic to speak on. So go for it.
Okay, sure. No, so it was just on my mind. I mean, first of all, I'm talking to a published author, so I felt like you would be a great person to ask about reading and books just in general. But every now and then, I watch my ex-wife's daughter, and
Mhm.
the last time she came over and I was watching her and stuff, we read, and this is not an advertisement. I'm just shouting at my friend. A friend of mine wrote a children's book. Shout out to Sienna Robinson, aka DJ Sienna Chanel. She's also a world-class DJ on top of being a published author because Black women are incredible.
Yeah.
um, but this
Awesome.
was her book, Good Hair Day. Now I bought this years ago because I was just supporting my friend. You know what I mean? Like when
Right.
support black businesses. I need to buy a copy of your book, even though it's not my demographic. But
They like it. A lot of men like my book. It was really funny. A lot of dudes read it and were like, "This is a really good book. Like, this is true." So yeah, actually, I'll just send you a copy. Don't even worry about
oh, come on, no, 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 no. I'm gonna buy a copy. I'm gonna specifically buy a copy. That's
it.
it's on principle. But anyway, so she wrote this book years ago. It's been doing well. But I didn't have any use for it. You know what I mean? It's just like I was just supporting a friend, right? But
Mm-hmm.
because I'm watching a toddler, I had the opportunity to read the book to a toddler, and she loved it
Right.
and embraced it, and like the same way, kids have been doing that for years. But my question is, are parents still doing that in the age of, and I feel like I sound so old right now, but like in the age of like screen time and tablets, and because I feel
So
like, no, go ahead.
as a parent, my child, she's 17 now. So I'm gonna tell a story. First of all, I read a lot. I don't read as much as I used to. Like I used to go through like 2-3 books a week. Even sometimes more than that, especially when I was younger. I just don't have the time to read the way I would like to, but I love
Mhm.
reading. I read all the time if I can. I prefer reading. So my house is full of bookshelves and books. Like I have a house full of books. I need to get rid of some books. And so I'm definitely a reader. In fact, the first day my daughter came home as a 2-day-old infant, I read to her. I
Yeah.
read to her every single day as a baby. I never skipped a day. And this actually came up in discussion with some other parents. And I was like, surprised because I ran into people who did not read to their infants and they were like, well, they can't read. I was like, that's not the point. Like, I understand they can't read. You can. And yes, that you're reading these tiny little kitty books that take 30 seconds to a minute to read.
It's
But what
crazy. It's crazy that they would say, "Oh, well, they can't read."
so
Like
it
like that
doesn't
like
matter.
that doesn't compute to me. Like,
It doesn't compute to me, but I realize I'm saying this as a parent and a person who does things around kids. People don't parent anymore. I don't know if I can put
see,
it any.
that's why I wanted to bring this up, because
Yes.
like I think to a
When you
larger
said it, I
degree.
was like, man, this is a great topic. So I read every single day to my daughter when she was an infant, when she was a toddler, she grew to love reading. She started reading on her own around 5 or 6 years old. And I still read to her, but I read to her every day, probably until she was like 7 or 8 years old, until she started like getting like the big books and wanting to read by herself. And so she's an avid reader too. So she reads, and then the academic, performance of kids whose parents read to them is much higher. So even though your baby can't read, they're learning while you're reading to them.
The little girl that I was reading to,
yeah,
right? She can't read yet. Okay.
Right.
But you know what she started doing? It was so adorable. She started looking at the illustrations and trying to read it like in it. So it's like, and then this person did the, and she's like mimicking the reading thing. But what was crazy about it was with some of the descriptions that she was giving, she was pretty close to some of the words. And I feel like there's connective tissue.
There's a connection. There's definitely the process of reading to your baby while they're looking at the pictures is all of that stuff is working. It's connecting. They're learning to read as you read to them. They're making a connection with the pictures and the words, and they actually end up being very early readers. And then when you're reading, when they get to be like, I don't know, you do the ABCs and the 1, 2, 3s around 6 months, they start knowing that stuff. And by the time, and this is the thing I also realize is a lot of people are not reading to their kids because they're getting to kindergarten and they can't do the basics, and people are depending on this broken education system to educate their children. And it's like, it doesn't work like that. That's why, they started Sesame Street, because that early learning is so important to a child's academic performance later on. So it's like, you got to be teaching your kids the basics from 6 months to 2 years old. They need to be reading, they need to be hearing the letters. They need to be seeing it over and over, repeating.
What I was going to say is, but I think you're absolutely right. In terms of I've always been, because this is how I was raised. Like, education starts in home. Okay. So it's like you have kids, and I promise you, there were kids that, and I'm not sitting here putting my child on a pedestal like, oh, my special little boy, yada yada. But like, there were kids when my child entered school that just didn't know what the hell was going on at all.
No, at all.
Your child. It was almost like they just, for the first 4 years of their life, whatever, just watched SpongeBob. And nothing, no disrespect, SpongeBob.
Right. You can't not raise a kid without screens now. I mean,
oh my God. Keep talking. I'm just gonna refill my ginger ale because I know I'm gonna run it.
For example, like my daughter's in high school, everything they do is on the Chromebook. Like, there's no real books anymore, but they're still reading. So you can't do anything without a screen. And I mean, I know people are like, oh, don't give your kid a smartphone, but they need to be able to navigate technology. But they also need,
you know what I mean?
They need.
And the kids that we're raising have to be prepared for the world that
they live in.
Yeah.
So you got to be able to read, and you got to be able to navigate technology. They all go hand in hand. But like, sending your kid to school without reading to them every day, I remember I just felt like I couldn't believe she said that. Of course, I'm not friends with that person anymore, because I think that was like the beginning of the end for me, when I was like, you don't read to your kid. Like I just felt like that was such a horrible attitude towards your kid. I'm like, what, you don't think your kid deserves 2 minutes a day of a book? It's not a lot. I think people are like, oh, this seems like, it's not a lot. When they're little like that, you're reading, even if you yourself are not, you're not a great reader, the books that you're reading to your kids are very elementary. So it's like, you can help your child even if you don't feel like you have the education to support your child. Like, you can be learning as they're learning, because they don't know it anyway. So these little baby books, and then the toddler books, and then they're so funny. I mean, the other thing is, I like kids movies and I like kids books. So
I was literally just having a conversation with someone that was saying that they like to read teen novels because it's kind of like quick, and my immediate response was, reading is reading. So
reading is reading. I mean, like I said, I don't get to do it as much as I would like to. But I even have a library card. I realize that a lot of people don't have library cards. Like, the reason I have a library card is there's too many books in my house, and I'm like, I'm not buying any more books. Like, I've gotten to the point where I'm like, don't buy any books. We don't have any space. So I have my library card so I can check out books. And right now I'm waiting for a book, and it's been on hold. I'm not kidding. It's been on hold for like 2 months. Like, people are really reading it. I'm upset because I haven't read it yet. And I'm like, hurry up with my book, like finish reading so I can read the book. But like, people, I don't know. Like, I also, okay, this is the other thing about reading that bothers me. People are so hooked on video and streaming and, music content or audio content. I don't like that. Like, I know we're doing this live stream, and I appreciate everybody for watching.
Right.
But
as we're doing a live stream.
I write every day. I write every day. Literally, I write a blog every day. And more people watch my video content, and I get that people are more likely to watch video content. I'm a person that prefers to read. It drives me crazy. Like, if they have a news article now and they have the video and they don't have the actual article.
Yeah.
It drives me insane because, one, I feel like you could just write it down. And two, I read faster than people talk. So for me, it's like you're slowing me up because I can't read whatever it is.
You're sitting there watching a video, and it's like, this is what
like, get to the point
today. And we're going to tell you that you're like, and it's just like, all right, man. Okay. I could have like just skimmed the whole article. And
right. I can read this. I get the information out, and let's go. I'm on to the next thing. And so I feel like for me, as a person who reads and I process information very fast, I'm like, I see that. I don't want to keep you on here too long. We gonna
no. But like, listen, we got an hour plus. We got time. We got time.
But yeah, I want to be able to read the information. I like the option, and like I said, I write every day. Like, I don't even know if people are really reading my blog. I know I have a few people who read it, but I write every single day, just as a practice. And it's not a lot. It's just a little encouraging word every day because, one, I think I want to encourage myself. It's my way of encouraging myself, but I share it because I'm like, hey, even if one person gets a little encouragement from this little thing, then, that's great. It's like, I want to add positivity to the world because the world is really messed up. And and right now it's like, you got to be like the education system. I know a lot of people are like, oh, take your kids out of school. Don't do that necessarily. I feel like people trying to homeschool their kids, if they don't have the education background to do so, that is a disservice to children.
Yeah.
But at the same time, this education system is not set up for you to not educate your kids too. Like, you have to, it's like a supplement. The public school system is a supplement. It is not the primary. You're the primary. So you need to be.
No, what I want to say is just to the point of education being supplementary. That's always been my take. And I'll reference a post that I'll tag you in, and I'll show you that I really did this shit. When Christian was little, they were doing Women's History Month, right? Great, of course. Yeah. So he was going to do a project on, a famous woman, and they gave him a list of women, right? But my issue was that the list was primarily white women,
right?
And they didn't do anything for Black History Month the month before. So what I did was because I watch a lot of space stuff. So at the time, Christian was watching a lot of space stuff just with me. So he picked Sally Ride. So I said, okay, well, you had to make like a little model of the person, so we made like a little Sally Ride, but we also did Dr. Mae Jemison. I made him do both. And he didn't have to do both. Like, I made him do both. Right. And then he did his presentation, and he did it like on both of them. And it was a teachable moment in the sense that it's like, okay, you're like, it was letting him know that your school isn't going to give you every resource, even though I have no problems with the school. He went to great schools. You know what I mean?
Right.
But again, like, you still have to like kind of come in and be that parent. and I think
as a Black parent, you don't have a choice, because there's always going to be a lack of Black history, a lack of information about Black people, a lack of information about historical Black figures. I have had to do something very similar. It's like, you can't depend on, and other thing, you can't depend on the education system to educate your children. And also, the way that the education system is set up, there's a lot of teachers with biases against Black kids. 100%. And so, 100%. Like the reason, like they're always trying to figure out why do Black students and Latino students not perform as well as white students. And I keep saying it's the racism. Like it's literally the racism. It's all because of slavery. Because if you have these teachers who already think that they're going to underperform before they even get to, a point where they can even see that what can the child do, they already have a bias saying this kid is not going to do as well. So they don't have.
And I've seen not only negative biases in terms of people who I'm like looking at them like I feel like that was racist, but there's also positive biases that have a negative impact where, and I'll explain what I mean. It's like certain teachers will come into an area or neighborhood and they'll think they're Michelle Pfeiffer from Dangerous Minds.
I had one of those in sixth grade.
Like, I've got to save these Negroes.
No, we made this woman cry. I have a long history of making white women cry. Sixth grade, it's a Black school. I grew up in Washington, D.C. All Black school, Black principal, Black everything. Black history, very much a Black-centered school curriculum, even though it was public. And they hired this white teacher one year. And she came in, her name was Miss Zanowski. I will never forget that. Yes, this was a young white girl. She just graduated. She was super white. She comes in to our school, and you could tell she had never been around Black kids. She really thought she was going to teach us something. And what she got, we were really good kids. The thing that was crazy is that my class and that school actually had really great students. A lot of the people that graduated from the elementary school that I went to went on to do really great things. At that time, it was one of the top schools in the district. So we were actually good kids. But this woman came in with such an attitude as though she was superior to us that we turned into the nightmare classroom just for her. We wouldn't listen to her. And she got so upset one day. She was like, you know what? I didn't have to come here and teach you kids. And we were like, cool, leave. Like, we were like, peace out. Like, we don't give a damn. We don't want you. We didn't ask you to come here in the first place. And this lady literally broke down in tears. Like, we made this lady cry. Because the idea that they are superior to us and they're going to teach us something it permeates like everything. So like I said, when you think about the biases that these teachers come in with for Black kids, it's like, yes, the kids are underperforming because they're around people who expect them to underperform. I mean, like I said, I have a history of making white ladies cry. I made a white woman cry with, she was, concerning my daughter. She made the statement like, what do you want your child to get, a C or a D? And I was offended. So I had the whole meeting. I was like, I know you don't believe this, but when my daughter goes to college, she'll be the fourth generation to go to college in my family. I was like, a lot of white people can't say that. I was like, so I know you don't see that when you look at her. But the fact that you think she's a C or D student tells me you don't know who my child is and you don't know anything about her grades or anything. And you're supposed to know. Like, you're supposed to know. I was like, and that offended me because that means you're coming in looking at her thinking things that are not true. And you need, like, basically I had to check this woman. And of course, the tears. I'm sorry. You're right. But I mean, like I said, I have a history.
It still is what it, right. Like,
as a Black parent, you have to be that. You have to go into these school systems, and really defend your kid and like advocate. You have to advocate for your child's education, or else they're not going to get the education they deserve. And they also have to feel empowered. I think the other thing that happens with a lot of Black kids, they don't feel empowered because their parents are not advocating for them and they don't know how to advocate for them. You
Well,
know,
first of all, I agree with everything you said. You
yeah.
absolutely have to advocate for your kids. And can I tell you a quick story from that same year
Yeah.
where he did the Mae Jemison Sally Ride? Um,
Hmm.
okay, great. So experimental jazz flute.
Yes. Oh, Sarah, you're missing it.
So when my son was in the second grade, I there first of all I was in the PTA as you do, and there was an opportunity where you could read to the kids' class,
Hmm.
and the point that I'm making in saying that I read to my kids' class is that not only do you have to advocate for your kids, but you have to also kind of show them by doing. And for me, it was important for him to know that reading is important.
Exactly.
So, because of the lack of physical books in schools and screens, which again is part of progress, and that's fine. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Like he had a laptop in school, and he's like 8, but I had to show him that it's like, hey, like reading can be cool, reading can be interesting. You can captivate people with reading and books, like, and it's a beautiful thing.
Thank you. No,
I
I
told
mean,
you, I told you the flute would be back.
I know, I know. I'm so sad Sarah's not here. She was like, she's missing it. I know she has something to do today, but yeah,
Yeah,
like the whole,
we're all adults, but sometimes we're busy and stuff.
mhm, the whole like being there representing for your kid, and like I said, the reading. Like in this house, we read around here. There's a lot of books in
Mhm.
this house. There's books. Like I said, I need to give some books away. If anybody would like some books in Northern California, especially kids' books, go ahead and hit me up because I have so many, like so many children's books. And my daughter, she doesn't want to give them up. I'm like, Pumpkin, you're not reading.
What's
You're
what
not,
what's your favorite? What's your favorite book?
I was thinking that you were going to ask me this, and I was thinking about this yesterday, and I was like, oh my God, I really don't have a favorite book. I don't have a favorite author. And then I was like, you know what? I
Okay.
don't even have a favorite movie. I just really enjoy reading. And the thing is, when I was a teenager, you probably believe this. I was a huge science fiction book reader. Like I
Oh,
read,
I'm no
I
like hard
like
same.
all day, every day, some sort of science fiction book. I'm a fiction person. I do read biographies. Like the last biography I wrote was that Prince Harry one that he wrote, Spare. I read that. That was interesting. So
Mm.
like I generally don't like nonfiction. Generally, like I will read a biography every now and then, but it's not my fave. It's not my fave.
What
But
I
I
would
love.
say is no. Go ahead. I'm sorry. No, no. But you love what?
Yeah, no, I just don't have a favorite. Like I loved a lot of the books that I read to my daughter. I can't really like think of like some of the ones. Like there was one about like outer space that had the most tongue twisters in it, and it took like 10 minutes to read. And my daughter freaking loved that book. I probably should go get it. But like she freaking loved that book. And if she picked it, I'd be like, oh shoot. Like, you know how like, it's still, I loved reading to my kid every night, but then at the same time, certain books would be super challenging and they would be long. Like she would pick like, you're trying to get ready for bed. You want to pick like a 2-minute, 5-minute book so you get this kid to bed. And she would pick this one book that would take like 10 minutes to read, which is a long time reading out
Mm.
loud. And it had the most tongue twisters in it, but it was really entertaining at the same time. Like it was really an entertaining book. So while I was like, at the same time, I was like, oh, this is still a cool book. So I have a bunch. What about you? You have a favorite?
It's funny because I will say that I have a favorite genre that
Mm-hmm.
clashes a little bit with what you were describing that you like. But what's funny about it is my favorite book, and I do have one, and I'll tell you what it is, but it
Mm-hmm.
clashes with the genre. It's completely opposite. So typically I like to read speculative fiction based it somewhat in reality. So like I like a science fiction book where you know it's not something that happened. It's not based on a true story, but they're looking at it from a realistic perspective and seeing like what could happen.
Right.
The Martian is a great example of that. Of that, you know what I mean? Like, because I don't know if you've seen the movie. Like, it's the one that with Matt Damon, right? But
I don't think I watched it.
it's okay. No, it doesn't matter. The movie's actually pretty good too. It's one of those movies where the book, the movie's almost as good as the book. But what I liked about The Martian was that, again, like, it was a movie about going to Mars. I mean, I'm sorry, a book about going to Mars and all this other stuff. But it was like, what if this happened? And it felt like it could happen. So that is kind of where I tend to go. There's another great book, and the movie isn't so good. Never Let Me Go. Oh my God, I love that book. I don't know if you know anything about it. It's, you know what? Honestly, I'll tell you right now, it's a quick read. It's like I don't even think it might be 200 pages, but it's a quick read. Like, you know what I mean? It's a quick read. Yeah. So just go in blind and go read it. It's great. But there was a sense of realism in it. Like it was like a mix of unrealism and realism. It's like kind of like meeting in the middle, you know? But I did want to tell you about my my favorite book of all time.
She's laughing. Wait, what is it?
No, nobody's laughing. It's fine. Hey, Experimental Jazz Flute.
Oh,
Lord. Are you good? I might. How about instead of some flute, how about we get a little percussion this time, okay?
Oh Lord.
Yeah.
Experimental jazz percussion.
Yeah, there's everything today. So I'll tell you about my favorite book.
Okay, here, I'm ready.
So my favorite book is not a work of fiction. It's the autobiography of Assata Shakur.
Okay.
And I don't know if you've ever read it, but
I haven't read it. I know it's very popular. A lot of people like it.
What I'll say about it is, even if you think that she's a cop killer or that she's writing it from her personal perspective and, you know, that's a biased perspective, what I can't imagine anyone saying is not denying that the narrative is captivating. Right. It's like when you're on her journey with her as a Black revolutionary, you're on that journey and you feel the tactile reality of what she was going through. So it's just, for me, it's just, I read it in high school. I was fortunate enough to have a class in my high school that was taught by a Black teacher. Shout out to Mr. Whitaker. But
that makes a difference.
It really does. And the class is called Alternative Voices. So the whole point of the class was to kind of give like a separate perspective. And I mean, my goodness, like, I'm very grateful for that experience because not every kid gets that. And going back to what we were saying about supplementary education, it's like when your kid isn't getting that at their school, hey, their school might be great, but it's like, hey, give them this book, you know. Like when one time when my son got in trouble when he was younger, I was like, all right, I'm gonna make you read 2 books, right? And one of them was the autobiography of Assata Shakur. And to be fair, he didn't get through the whole thing because it was a little dense for an 8-year-old that I was punishing.
So that's a weird okay, go ahead.
But, you know, the point that I'm making is I think the more exposure to reading and you know, the works that mean something to you, like if you can transfer that to your children. Because I think about right now, and we were talking about the difference between screens and school, and it's like, okay, my son's reading things, but it's on a screen, you know. But the thing is, he's reading. So like, he came to me the other day and he was talking about some of the additives in some of my food, and He was absolutely right, and it's because he has a history of reading. No, go
Okay,
ahead.
so here's my question. All right. So, all right. I think I have
You
a
want some
bias.
accompaniment or no? Did you want some drums?
Oh no, I'm good.
Okay.
Okay. So my I think I may have a bias just in my circle. I'm around a lot of smart, educated Black people. I interact with smart, educated Black people. We read. Like you read, I read. We're readers. You know, we talk about books and stuff. That's us. So when people are like, you know, because there's always this question, do Black people even read? I'm like, hell yeah, we read. I follow like Black librarians, more than one, on, you know, social media. Like I am in a bubble where I'm like, yes, we read. But then the question is, are Black people reading for real, or am I just in a bubble where I'm surrounding myself with Black people who read? And is our community losing something where we're not reading and our kids are not reading? We're not reading to our kids. Like, I'm trying to figure out, is it me or is it just an American thing? Because Americans' education is declining overall. It's not just Black people.
So I think that two things can be true, and I think that yes, like Black people should be reading more and reading to their children more. But I think that is in response to the fact that we overall as a country are reading less, right? Like again, when I was telling you about me reading to my son's class, right? I could tell that there were kids in that second grade class when I was reading to them. I'm reading Green Eggs and Ham that had never read Green Eggs and Ham before and had probably never been read to before because they like their eyes were wide open. And it's funny because if you look at that video, Christian's sitting there like, yeah, like whatever, like
it's Green Eggs and Ham.
It's Green Eggs and Ham, like because I read it to him like 100 times,
right?
You know what I mean? Like when he was a baby and when he couldn't read, which we were talking about, like what, like that was the craziest shit that you said. I'm like, it's like, so you don't read the kids because they can't read. You read the kids because they can't read. The fuck are you talking about? What are you talking about?
Like I said, I started shrinking my circle.
I'm not friends with that motherfucker. I don't know who they are. That's crazy business. You don't read the kids because they can't read. You read the kids because they can't read.
Because they can't read. That's exactly why you read to them. Like I said, you know, once my daughter was born, my social circle really started to sharpen. I think, you know, when you become a parent, you start realizing the things that were really important and the things that were not so important. And you start like, you know, removing people that you're like, yeah, I don't want you around these types of thinkers. So like it was definitely a moment because I will never forget. I was like, wow, like you don't read to your child. Wow. Because they can't.
Like where else? I don't know.
Okay, like, but you know, like I said, I know that I live in a bubble. I know that I surround myself with people who are like me, which is what everyone usually does.
Right. So, and to me, I don't even necessarily think that there's anything wrong with a quote unquote bubble, so long as you kind of understand the nature of it. In that, like, as long as you understand that the people around you are the people that you want to kind of like, you know, like you want to be around like-minded people, that's okay. Right. But you have to understand that that's not everybody. And I think, like, not to get off on a tangent, but I think a lot of times, I think this happened in the 2024 election. Like there were a lot of people who are in more leftist bubbles who think Trump is insane. And I think Trump is insane. But
is that insane?
We had to realize that there were like a lot of people that just either didn't realize what he was doing or like
I can't believe,
you know what I mean? So like you can't just be like, oh well,
like I realize that people
clearly everyone
like
knows he's insane.
No, I think that the people who believe that Trump is not insane are dumb people, and that's probably messed up to them. That I feel like if you voted for Trump, you're stupid. Like that's just how I feel. Like it's not going to change how I feel. I feel like you lack, like, you know, like critical thinking skills if you can't see that Trump is insane. Like that it's pretty obvious. It's, you know, he's a convicted felon. He's doing all this really messed up stuff to people that voted for him. And if you can't see that, something is definitely wrong with you cognitively. Like if you can't assess what is in front of you, what is presented, his behaviors, and you're like, no, I think he's great, you're stupid. That's my conclusion. That's how I feel. Like I'm never going to be like, oh, let's have empathy for Trump supporters. Like nope.
I mean, trust me, I have I've done my fair share of mockery of the Hispanic vote, and I will vote for Donald Trump. Like I've definitely done that. But with that being said, I bear with me. I do try to have some empathy, and the reason I do is because Donald Trump was such a prolific figure in the media and a prolific celebrity before any of this, and in a lot of contexts, he wasn't presented as controversial. He wasn't presented as, someone wrong. If anything, it was just kind of like he's a womanizer, and like, okay, like, but at the time, that wasn't even really like a big deal, So like, but the point that I'm making is like, I remember when Donald Trump was a guest on Conan O'Brien, and it's like you talk about whatever like public leftist space or what have you. It's like but I feel like a lot of times people, if they're not, and it's hard to be politically engaged 24/7 these days because there's a lot to consume. So it's like if it's like I'm saying, like, I don't think everyone is stupid.
I'm sorry. It's too. I think we give people who fall for white supremacy and I'm just saying, as a Black woman, I'm tired of people making excuses for people who are just being stupid, because I don't have the luxury of just being stupid. As a Black woman in the United States of America, I don't have the luxury of the benefit of the doubt, which is what everybody else gets. Everybody else is like, oh, well, maybe they didn't know. I don't get that. Like, if I make a mistake, I don't get the benefit of the doubt. Oh, I just didn't know. So every time they're like, oh, well, maybe he was just being a womanizer. Well, that's not okay. As a woman, being a womanizer is not okay. It's never been okay. It's wrong. And so therefore, if you're voting for a womanizer and you know he's a womanizer and you do it anyway, that's a purposeful act. You're still being stupid to me. Like, to me, that's still stupid. So I'm just like, I know people get upset because they're like, oh, you're being too hard on these people. I don't care. Like, at this point, if you voted for Trump and he took your job away, or he deported your cousin or your wife, I don't care, because you voted for it. And that's what you get. That's how I feel. And I know a lot of people who didn't vote for him are suffering too. But every time I see these people crying, I'm just like, this is what you asked for. You literally were dumb enough to fall for it. This is what you get. I feel like these people have to suffer the consequences of their vote. And I feel like their vote was dumb, and therefore they just deal with it. Like, and then if they get offended that I think they're stupid, like, my personal opinion should not offend you. If you voted, you stand by it, and I say I think you're stupid, I don't even know these people. Like, I cleared out Trump supporters way before 2016. I used to live in Georgia, and I moved here in 2015. So I was in Georgia,
so
and I had
on the West Coast for a decade now. Wow. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I had actually 2014 is when I moved here. I've been here 11 years. So I had a lot, I had a handful of white people in my friends list who were leaning, because it was when he was talking about he was going to run. And so I cleared those people out in 2014. I don't have the patience to, argue with somebody that doesn't see my humanity. Like, I feel like if you fall for it, you wanted to fall for it, and you wanted to put your head in the sand, you wanted to be blind. You were voting for white proximity. If you're Latino, you were voting for white supremacy. If you're white, you want that. That is what you want. That's what you're comfortable with. And so for us to pretend like this is not what these people want, to me is bullshit. Like, I get tired of it, because it's like, no, these white women who voted for Trump knew what they were voting for. These Latinos, they thought he was going to deport the browner people than them. they thought it was going to only affect the Haitians, not them. And it's like, I don't understand how you think these white people who are racist, that you're pretending to be like them, is going to make them accept you. It's not. You're never going to be accepted.
The one thing I've said multiple times is I don't think that everyone who is I don't think everyone who is a Republican is racist, but I think everyone who is a racist is probably a Republican. Like for the most part. And I don't like the two-party system. I really wish that,
but that's what we have.
That's what we have. Like, I wish Jill Stein was a serious Green Party candidate. I wish that, like,
it's not going to happen in our lifetime.
It's not going to happen. We're both going to be dead before that ever happens. So it's like when you look at it, for me, it's always a matter of which team has more racists on it. Like,
right.
as a black man,
and it shifts.
And I'm also gonna not sit here and like act like I'm fucking glazing off the Democratic Party and sucking their dicks and I'm letting them jizz on my head. Like, I don't give a fuck about those fucks. You know what I'm saying? Like, some of them are racist as fuck as well, of course.
Yeah,
but like when you have two choices, when they make it Coke or Pepsi, McDonald's or Burger King, Nintendo or Sega, I'm gonna pick the one that has less racists on it. That's it.
That's it. That's the best we can do. As the best we can do, really. But like, to sit here and
I'm listening. I'm just gonna get some more ginger ale, because if I don't, I'm gonna cough your ear off, and you don't want that. You don't want it.
I know a lot of people don't like the two-party system. Oh, wow, we only have two parties, but you got to pick one. You got to pick one. Like, you can't just not vote. And this is what happened. A lot of people didn't vote, and they're like, oh, I didn't want to vote for the lesser of two evils. That is literally what you have to do in this country. You have to pick the one with the least amount of races that's going to cause the least amount of harm. And right now, we're in a bad situation. Tourism in our country has dropped tremendously. People are not coming here. They're not going to spend money here. The economy is tanking, and it's all their fault. It's literally all their fault.
They're not coming for good reason.
Because they don't want to get caught up in ICE. They can't even come and spend money in our country in the tourism areas.
There's already been stories of people who have come here because they had a planned vacation or this, that, and third. And then it's like, well, now you can't leave because, like, what's going on? And it's like,
this is insane. Like, you are literally tanking the country. They're tanking the country purposefully, so these oligarchs can buy up everything, and they want to bring back slavery. Like, I just want to point out, Black people are not going back to slavery. I don't know what these other folks that voted for him, the Asians and the Latinos, I don't know what y'all are doing. We're
gonna have a reverse underground railroad going to Mexico.
Like, it's just, and a lot of people are leaving. That is also what's happening. A lot of people are becoming expats. I don't know.
Let me tell you something. I know. Hold on. Let me count my head. Give me 1 second. I know 5 people, 5 Black people, 2 women, 3 men. Well, okay. Technically, the 3 men are all married, so add those women to it too in the family. But anyway, like, let's say like 5 people and families that I know, that like I personally know, like in real life, that were like, fuck it, I'm out, and left.
And I'm not mad at it. Like, it's like I tell you people all the time, it's gonna get worse before it gets better. And it's gonna get a lot worse. And
I don't even know my homie Dave, because he just left. Dave, I miss you, bro.
Like, I get people wanting to roll.
I'm never gonna see him again. He was like, nah, fuck this. Like, I'm out. I
get it. Like, I totally.
And he's a regular. He's like a regular Black dude. He just took his whole family to Spain. Like,
he said, we're out. Like, because anywhere is better than this. I mean, racism is everywhere unless you're in a really Black country. Sure. And even then, white supremacy touches every place.
Everything. Come on, man. Everywhere in the world. Here because she could really.
And it's not even white supremacy. I hate even using that term because it's really white.
But that's why I wish Sarah was here, because we've had this conversation specifically, and I know. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
We'll bring this back up next.
Yeah,
like I totally get people like bouncing because if my daughter wasn't already in high school and was on a track, like for me, making those types of decisions to uproot your kid is not like, I don't feel like that's the best thing, even as things are really awful. Like it's like we're stable. Like where we are is pretty stable. I live in California. California is fairly stable state. So expensive. I'm not expensive as all get out. But
I mean, listen, I live in Jersey, so I get the vibes.
Yeah, but
I feel like each coast is like, if you're in either New York or New Jersey or in Cali, you're spending way more money than
Boston. I've lived in the most expensive city.
Boston is incredibly expensive.
I have lived in the most expensive places. I still live in a ridiculously expensive place, but to me, raising my child in a place where I know racists are here. I know they exist here. I know they're much more hidden than other places. But overall, she's in a space where people pretty much think like we do. She's interacting with kids who, it's the diverse population. They don't like that foolishness either. So it's like, to me, we're pretty cool where we are. But listen, if I were single with no kids, and I've traveled around the world and it was just me, I'd be out of here too. I'd be like, y'all can go to hell. The hell with this country. I'm over it.
And some people are so fed up. Like, again, my homie that left and moved to Spain, wife and 2 kids. And I think a dog, like literally like the nuclear family. And it was just like, fuck this shit. I'm out.
Right. And I totally get it. I understand. Like I said, if it was just me, I would have left a while ago too, because it's very frustrating, And like I said, racism is everywhere. Like Spain, not the best place for Black people.
I wouldn't have told him to move to Spain, but it's his money and his house that he sold. It's not my problem. I don't know, but
racism.
Maybe he wanted to move to Spain. Okay, like sometimes you gonna move to Spain.
I don't know. Maybe I would deal with Spaniard races better than these yeehaw races here. I don't know. Like, I don't know.
Spain versus yeehaw.
I don't know.
Because the thing is, I've experienced some Spaniard racism. They can kind of be a little funny in that regard. But I still think the yeehaws have it. Like, I've never had a Spaniard look me in the eye and call me a nigger. I've had multiple white people do that to me. Like,
okay, so
look me in the face and be like, "You fucking nigger!" Like with the hard R, like, bruh.
So for me, and I'd rather deal with that dude.
I hope I don't get you demonetized by using the hard R so much.
So I would rather deal with that dude that uses the hard R than the ones that are in HR making sure you don't get hired or making sure you get fired, or I'd rather deal with those type of racists.
This is why a couple of episodes ago I brought up Hulk Hogan, even though it wasn't really something that y'all really gave a shit about, because Hulk Hogan was that type of person where it's like,
I'd rather deal with the outrage.
He's gonna hug the closet. And then when he gets to go make a decision, he's like, I don't want any of those blacks, brother. And there's a lot of white people like that. You know what I mean?
It's like, a lot of white people. And I'd rather deal with, like I said, the out racists than that. But as far as racism outside the country. So I lived in France for a little while, way back in the day. And everybody was telling me it's not racist in France. And I got there and lived there. And I was like, okay, nobody's being racist to me. And I'm an American Black woman in Paris. Nobody's being racist directly to me. And it was a refreshing moment. I didn't feel like me being Black had an impact on how people treated me. And that for me was a refreshing experience. But France is racist as hell. And I noticed it because they are racist against Arab people. And it's very blatant and obvious. And people are like, oh, France is not racist. I'm like, oh, that's not true. They're very racist against Arab. They treated the Arab kids and the Arab people horribly. Like, they would follow them around in stores. Like, they would follow us in stores. I never got followed in a store when I was in Paris, but I saw them being followed. And the way that the young people reacted to the racism is very similar to the way Black kids here react to the racism by acting out. Like, you would see them, they would be, in groups and, trying to be tough on the street. And it's like, that is a reaction. The way that young people behave when they're dealing with a racist environment is to act out because they're already being mistreated. So yeah, that's my take. Like, it doesn't matter where you go, you're going to get some racism. But these racist white people have gotten out of hand. It's getting crazy.
Yeah, no, I know. Yeah.
You were like, I like my little backup music.
I wanted to give you a little accompaniment. I don't know if you noticed, but
I did notice.
There was a little percussion with drums.
Yes, I heard
it. I've got the percussion right here.
Oh yes, that's your.
So I was playing a little bit.
Yes. You getting any good at that?
No, I haven't got enough practice yet, but what I'll say is this: you know, when you create art, and that's how I view this show, right? I feel like this is art.
It is.
You know, you just have to kind of like roll with the punches, and like sometimes your co-host has a cold and he has to guzzle down ginger ale.
That's all right. We're not gonna keep you on here too long because I have spare ribs to make. I have spare ribs to put into the slow cooker. I got to go braise them bad boys.
But I did have like a couple things that I wanted to talk about, just like in terms of like the overall topic of like reading, and because
yes,
let's talk about, at least for a little bit, and I'm not gonna make you, but your process in terms of writing a book.
Oh man, I do talk about in my book. So I wrote a book. If you didn't know, it's called Date Like a Woman, which is why this channel is called Date Like a Woman. And it was a dating guide for women, but it was a dating guide for women who are just looking to date, not looking to get into a relationship. I feel like it was way ahead of my time because I wrote that book in 2007, and the world has
7. Oh my Lord! I didn't wait. I'm just full disclosure. Didn't realize that your book was the same age as my kid. That's crazy.
Right. So like I wrote that book in 2007. And was it 2017? I'm sorry, 2017. And
okay, wait, that's a gigantic difference. Wait a second.
No, yeah, sorry, I'm messing up. 2017. My bad.
I was like, my book is 18 years old.
No, not 18 years. It's like 8. Okay, so like my bad. 8 years ago. Okay. And I feel like but I started the process of writing the book way before that. My daughter was a toddler when I decided to write the book. Mm-hmm. So it's been a process for a long time, not 18 years, but probably about 15, 16 years in the process. And it was published in 2017. So yeah, it took some time.
I can see where your mind was going. I got it. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So the reason I wrote it is that Twitter was really popping then, like 2009, somewhere in there. And all those dating foolishness that you still see to this day, like $200 dates and what do you bring to the table and all that stuff. And we still see repetitively over and over in the dating scene. I kept seeing it and I was like, y'all are making it too complicated. It's not this complicated to date people. It's just not. Like, people overcomplicate the dating process. And I'm talking about dating. Like, I had to make sure we separate. Dating and relationships are two different things. And so I was just replying to somebody on Twitter and I was like, I should write a book about this. And they were like, yeah, you should. And I was like, yeah, I should. So I ended up writing an outline about like, these are the things you should think about. And then I started writing on it, like on the outline, and ended up making a book about it. And so my book is literally a dating guide, just how to date. It has nothing to do with all the craziness that people make it out to be. Like, it's not that complicated. You can make it, you can have fun with it. And I think for me, watching the attitude around dating shift from then to now, because women really have just decided they're not dating. Like, it's gotten
hard because I'm saying this as a man, and it's funny because there's gonna be so many guys that'll hear me say this and be like, "Oh, he's just a simp, whatever." But like, I see a lot of guys, like if I go out with my male friends, right, like the ones that I respect, they might have people in their periphery who are invited, and they'll say that shit, and it's like, yeah, but like, you don't have a girlfriend, bro, and like, you probably don't have a girlfriend not because like they're just westernized women or whatever the fuck red pill shit you're thinking. It's like because you're being weird, my guy. Like, just like how about you buy her a drink and have a nice conversation with her and just see
Right.
where things go. And then if she doesn't, and if she decides not to date you, then like she's not a fucking bitch. This
Right.
bitch. Like, just
It's
can you just take
gotten
a breath?
so insane. It's gotten so insane. Like, I see this stuff, I still date. I don't know if people know that, but I do. I don't date often because I'm busy, but I do go on dates and they're not freaking weird stuff happening. Like, like to me, it's like I'm still having normal interactions with men that I see as normal. But looking at what people are posting, the men are acting very strangely. And I think part of the reason my dating experiences have been different is I've never online dated ever. Like I've never done
Yeah.
any online
A
dating.
lot
And
of this shit is online shit, and
and
a lot of men are more terminally online than they
yeah.
would care to admit. And
And
this is me saying this as someone that's online all the time, but again measures it and has a real life outside of that, right? Like
right.
real
And I
human
think
beings I interact with. I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but what I think is happening with a lot of these guys is they are replacing actually getting to know people like one-on-one and looking them in the eye with
right.
all these online interactions, and that's not healthy. It's like
It's not healthy because a lot of men, they're just copy and pasting the same message to like a whole bunch of women.
and they're not thinking about it.
It's no interest in there. And I've said this. I've told women we're going into like a decade. Stop online dating. Like don't do it. And I always get but such and such got married, and I'm like, it has a 5% success rate. They've done studies on this. A 5% success rate for a relationship with all the people that are on there. It means 95% of the people on dating apps are not ending up in relationships. 95. It's like a $2 billion industry. They literally want you to stay on the apps so they can continue to make money off of you. They don't want you to be in relationships. And then the men are just, like I said, it's like a copy paste thing. And they're just, multiple women.
They're playing the numbers game, and there's
right, and they have access to so many more women online than they would in real life, and so it's just really skewed things. And then the stuff that the men are saying to the women is insane. Like you've seen the stuff in the nightmare dating profiles.
Oh my god! I mean, I see it every day.
It's like, why would you? It's like, why would you say that to a woman? And then men, I think they think that they'll just say anything, and if some woman accepts it, they'll just go with it. And it's like, I don't see any woman accepting some of the stuff that they're saying. So they're just saying wild stuff and then getting frustrated because they're not getting any results. So it's just,
I think. Listen, I'm not going to if couples meet online and it works out great. What I would say is that I'm the type of man that wants to meet a woman in person, look her in the eye, and tell her what I'm all about. And if she doesn't like that, that's cool. Like whatever.
Okay.
That's okay. And it's her right. It's her right to walk away if I'm doing negative stuff. Okay.
Right.
Like
absolutely.
But I feel like it's, and this is just me. I'm not saying what everybody else should do, but like I almost feel like if I want a woman in my life, she deserves me to look her in the eye and be like, this is what I'm about. This is who I am. This is what's going on. And a lot of guys are just they want to get what they want to get.
Yeah,
and
they're
want to take what they want to take. So it's like, okay, well, let me see what I can get from this person, and they'll string women along and be weird and all that type of shit. When it's like, nah, man, like.
And it's also the shift. Okay, so the women are shifting out of, what do they call it, man keeping. There've been all these articles on man keeping, and women are moving away from marriage and moving away from having kids. The thing is, women at this point, because they're not, forced to be supported by men anymore. They can support themselves. They can buy their houses. They have their careers.
They have their own financial.
Right. So women are shifting to looking for men as equal partners in terms of like emotional connection. They're looking for somebody who's actually genuinely interested in them and sharing with them and emotionally connected. And the men are not showing that emotional maturity because they've been raised in an era where, you know, women are supposed to be the helpmeet and women are supposed to obey. And so there's this, the women have evolved. Like the women are gone. The women have evolved. They're moved on. They're like, we're up here. This is what we're doing now. And the men are still down here like, why won't you come down here? And
acknowledge me, please.
These women don't want to cook or clean. In fact, I don't know even like I keep trying to avoid this.
Let me tell you something. I'm not sitting here trying to suck my own dick. All right, I'm not trying to be like I'm the best guy in the world. No, I ding. Okay, all right, fine. Listen, I'm out of pocket. You know, I'm out of pocket. The things I say.
Go ahead.
All right.
Make your point.
Okay. All right. My point is, it's like, hey, you know, fellas, guess what? You might have a woman who has a lot of time at work and like needs a little support. So it's like, you know what you could do? You go charge her rose. you go make sure her rose is charged. You wash her dishes, and that you walk her dog.
Right.
You can make sure that certain things are taken off of her plate, and that doesn't make you any less of a man.
It doesn't. It's like I said, the women have evolved. The women have moved here. There's a handful of men like you. There's a handful of men who are not looking for a woman to take care of their home, to clean their clothes, to cook their food. There's a handful like you. There's a handful. I know. I've met them. I've talked to them. There are men who have evolved. They're very few. We're talking about 2% of the male population has shifted.
2% at best. At best. Trust me. I still fight these Negroes in males.
It's like 2%. The rest is like, and it's sad because boys are falling behind in everything. They're falling behind in academics. They're falling behind in college. You know, going to college. They're falling behind in their careers. Like it's actually kind of scary because
terrifying to me.
Women make community and make programs for girls. Women reach back and they bring the girls up with them. Like they're like, hey, we had to do this, and now we're gonna make sure that all the girls get supported. The men are not evolving, and then the boys don't have anyone to help them evolve. It's just like it's going to be a problem, especially with the way that the country is going. The men are devolving
because a lot of the black men, frankly, I'm just going to tell you what's going. This is not a prediction; it's a spoiler. A lot of them are going to want to get to that approximate, like they want to be that closeness to whiteness, right? So they're gonna like, so white male supremacy is gonna give them a feeling of strength and control, because a lot of these guys, they feel like they're out of control of their lives, and they want that control. They want to be able to tell this person that, and this person.
And these white men are like trying to put white women back in control. They're trying to make them become baby makers and be under the thumb of white men again. And it's like it's scary. It's scary. Like, but it's like this boy man thing not evolving, not becoming modern men is a problem. Sharon McComb says so many great points made. Thank you, Sharon. Like, it's scary.
What did Sharon say?
She said so many great points made.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it's very scary where this is going. But I've asked you this question multiple times. What do we do about the men? How do we help the men? I don't really want to help.
I'll tell you, like, on a personal level, I'm trying my best. I'm trying my best. Did I tell you? I feel like I did. I think I told you this story on the show about my friends that I brought to the Hindu temple that I like to go to.
Yes.
And it's like all of the women that I brought, hey, we're taking a picture. Hey, we're at the Hindu temple. The men, nah, man, I don't know. I'm hugging up on you in like a public place. That's weird, bro. Like, and it's like, man, like we're friends.
Listen, I just
you're
feel
that
like
offended about like hugging. Like, are y'all all right? I feel like I'm the only reasonable nigga on earth. And I'm just a guy. Like, I'm not even special. But it's like these niggas are weird sometimes. Like
I don't know. The patriarchy is
40 minutes to a place to go hang out with your homeboy, and you're like, nah, we're not gonna take pictures because this is gonna be gay. Bro, it was gay driving 40 minutes to meet me. If you think
everything is gay for men. And then, the thing is sad is like patriarchy and this whole sexism thing has put men in a cage. They can't express themselves. And it's like they're hating women who are fighting patriarchy, but fighting patriarchy is saving the men too. Because I posted this video a few weeks back from like 1992 or something, and it was these boys who were performing in a talent show at school, and they were dancing. And I was just thinking about like my daughter, she's a performer, she performs at school, they have a dance program. The dance program is like 90% girls. There's like maybe 5 boys total in the whole program. And I was like, what happened to make it so that boys don't dance anymore? These boys were having so much fun performing in their talent show. And now there's no boys dancing. I mean, you rarely see boys just expressing themselves artistically because that's gay. And that gay is not a bad thing, first of all. Like
gay isn't a bad thing. And spoiler alert, if you're gay, right? You like dancing ain't gonna make like there is not like listen, 10 men could walk in my door right now and just pull their dicks out and whatever, and I'm gonna be like, oh, I'm all right, I'm okay, I'm good. Like I'm not gonna start jerking dicks because like dicks were offered to me. Like I don't understand. Like what I'm saying. It's like oh, like if you're like oh, like if the gay agenda gets put out there, then suddenly your son's gonna be sucking dick. Your son doesn't want to suck dick. If your son wants to suck dick,
he's already gay. He's gay. But the thing that's made it so that boys can't dance, they can't enjoy themselves, they can't express themselves, they can't show affection to another guy without being called gay. It's like it's a cage. Patriarchy is a cage. And it's caging men, and it's making men so mentally unwell that now we're at this point where like now they're like trying to, instead of evolving, again, we can't evolve. Men can evolve. It's possible if we push for men to evolve. Instead of evolving, they're like trying to double down on controlling women, and it's gonna get violent. It's like violence is happening because men can't express themselves, because they can't just be free. And it's disgusting. Like, when are the men going to realize that patriarchy hurts them too? Like, and I've said this many times. Like, I'll see men complaining about, oh, men got to be strong and we can't cry, and they complain, and then I'm like, it's the patriarchy, and they get mad at me because
I'm gonna be completely transparent. Mm-hmm. There's definitely been times where I've said that type of shit, and it's wrong.
It is wrong.
You know what I'm saying? Like I felt that way, but just because you feel something doesn't mean that it's what is actually happening.
Right. And it's like when you feel as though you can't express your hurt and your pain, and you think it's because of women, because it's not women. Like every time, they're like, oh, well, women say don't cry and be a man. It's like, that is not the construct that women created.
Like
that
men made that possible.
Men made that. Men made that. That is patriarchy. Patriarchy is hurting you, is causing you harm. The boys are not in the arts. The arts are dying for boys. I mean, I just think about like every time I see like my daughter performing, and I see how many girls are in the performance programs, and then I see how few boys. And I'm like, these boys are missing out on an opportunity that could really help them. They could get them into college. They could, just amazing things. And they're not there. Like, where are they? And it's because they don't want to be called gay. They literally are like, I don't want to be called gay. And I'm like, gay is not an insult. Like, I'm just screaming because that's the homophobia.
Let me tell you something. I'm gonna tell you a true story, and I'm gonna use a slur. So just like spoiler alert, okay?
Right.
So when I was in high school, I was a varsity athlete, so I kind of, I think, was shielded from some of the homophobia type stuff, because people knew that, like, if they want, like, I could fuck them up because I was on the wrestling team, so like I could fight. So like, but when I was in high school, I was involved in the plays and stuff, and some people called the people that were involved in plays play fags, and that's why I'm saying,
and that's
like,
what happened. Like
that's
that.
a slur. That's not a right thing to say. That's
Yeah.
like that. So it's like, oh, it's those play fags over there, right?
And that type of homophobia has literally made it like right now there are so few boys performing in the arts, in the young kids.
Keep talking. I need more ginger ale if I'm gonna keep going. Go ahead.
Yeah, like Kashawn Simmons says, dancing is gay now. Back in the 90s, males were the best dancers. They so were the best dancers. Oh my God. I love to see men dance. Like that was like the thing. And I think about it, like you go out to like hang out recently and the men don't dance anymore. Like people don't dance anymore.
Oh, was that Williams that said that?
Simmons. Kashawn Simmons.
I'm sorry. I flubbed on the last name. My apologies. I'm not looking at the screen. I'm getting ginger ale because I'm sick.
She also said you have football hands. Which is probably true. You play football? Is that what you played?
Wait, you asking me if I like football?
I said, did you play? She said you have football hands. Did you play football?
Wait, hold on. I got my ginger ale. I had football what? Because it sounded like you said football penis. And I'm like, what's happening?
No, we didn't.
That's what it sounded like. I swear to God. I have Chris definitely has football hands. No, I didn't. You know what? I might have football hands, but I was a wrestler in high school. I did really well. I beat a state champion. I won a bunch of tournaments. Like I was actually, I can fight. Like I have hands. I really do. That's it. But I don't want to be. I don't want to be Al Bundy. I don't want to be Al Bundy in Married with Children talking about like, oh, I scored 4 touchdowns in one game. It's like, nah. It's like I'm not trying to hype myself up. But if somebody's asking me if I can fucking fight, I can fight.
I mean, you know,
saying.
I just feel like, and then I think the boys who could fight didn't mind being called those names because they knew that if necessary,
correct,
they could, you know. And I don't think a lot of these kids, especially these kids now, they can't deal with online comments because they're getting bullied online. So therefore,
but going back to the original point of this entire episode, I feel like reading could fucking help a lot of these kids so much. Because they could read a story, and just bear with me here for a second. They could read a story where if maybe they don't feel, because full disclosure, like I did feel like kind of like masculine in high school. So like it that did help me move through a patriarchal society. All right.
Yes.
But maybe somebody reads a story and it's like, hey, like they're a creative person that like wants to mess with puppets or do this or that, and maybe they're struggling with their sexuality or whatever the fuck it is, and they can find the story that helps them get through.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like that's why I'm worried about reading. You know what I mean? Because
you know, okay. Wait, I gotta show.
No, go ahead.
No, she said kids today can't take words, so they definitely won't fight. And I have to say, it's not necessarily that, because the kids that came, so you're millennial. Right after you, there was the whole anti-bullying and no tolerance policies, because they used to let my generation and older, we would fight. They would be like
Absolutely.
Just take it outside. And I feel
I got in a fight in school. And a teacher watched me and this dude fight for like 5 minutes before anything was done. We were scrapping. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like we were throwing punches at each other.
Right. As a parent, I think
Terrence Kong, how you doing? I beat your ass, Terrence. I whooped your ass, Terrence. No, it's like, because if Terrence Kong sees this, he's gonna be mad. But like, I kicked that nigga's ass, and the teacher let me do it. I'm sorry. I apologize.
But like, I feel like we have to let children fight it out. Like, not to the point of danger, no weapons, no actual. But I think
but
fisticuffs.
that's what I'm saying.
They used to call it.
The teacher literally watched me and this man square up like our fists, and we fought it out. And we got everything out.
I feel like fisticuffs is a natural growing up process. Like you have to be able to know if you can fight, if you can take a punch, if you can't take a punch. You need to have that experience as a child, like a young adult, teenager, child, because that it gets the aggression out. And I think kids who are able to fight actually end up a lot of times being cool later because they got it out of their system, whatever it is. And when they took
and that's the thing. Like that's why I gave a shout out to that grown 43-year-old man, because like we got it out of our, you know what I'm saying? It was like, okay.
And when you take away that, when they made it no tolerance, no bullying, no nothing, like they said last week, when they overcorrected on the no bullying, now the kids, they can't take, oh Lord, he's got puppets.
No. Keep going. I'm listening.
When they took that away, the kids can't take words. They can't do anything. They're just frustrated and they can't handle online bullying. Like it's ridiculous. Just like this moment right here. It's time to go. You didn't pull
Wait. Hold on. Wait. No, wait. What you said? It's time to go. What did I do? No. Wait a second. I'm
not doing this with you, Chris. I'm not talking to a puppet. I'm not doing this.
No. Wait a second. There's
anyway, you want to give your socials because we about to.
Wait. No. Don't run me off. Can I do one thing? Can I do one thing real quick before we go? Please. I'm asking nicely. And I'm even like, if people look at the stream, I'm looking at you because I want. So sure? You never, first of all, you never acknowledged my name on the stream. Can we look at it?
I saw it when you logged in, and I was like, okay, all right, that's the day we're having.
Hold on, because we're talking about reading.
Right.
So,
I saw it.
LeVar Burton is a reading legend.
Reading Rainbow.
I wanted to sing the theme. That's what I wanted to do, even though I'm sick. Can I sing the Reading Rainbow theme before we get out of here, please?
You have the floor.
Thank you. I really appreciate you giving me.
Hey, and don't be changing the words or nothing.
I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna sing the regular theme.
No. I don't want the way you change LeVar Burton's name. Don't do that.
I know. The
actual words.
I'm not gonna make it weird, okay?
If you make it weird, we're gonna have to go.
Even though I'm sick and my voice isn't great because I'm sick, I really love this song, and we were talking about reading, so I wanted to sing it. Okay, is that okay with you, ma'am? Your Honor. You have the floor. You have the parameters. Lobby Grace, so she could be a judge. Is that okay, Your Honor?
You have the floor. You have your parameters. Don't play.
Thank you, ma'am. I appreciate you. Butterfly in the sky. I can go twice as high. Take a look. It's in a book. A reading rainbow. Kinda hates this dude. But it's a good show. And that she knows. A reading rainbow. Reading rainbow. Reading rainbow. Reading rainbow. Reading rainbow. Woo! I really appreciate you, and I want to tell you that I appreciate you on like a cellular level.
I'm always entertained.
I think we've done great work together.
We have. Yeah, but you got to get. I can't do the puppet. I can't talk to the puppet. I can't do that. We go.
All right. Okay. I'll come back. Hold on.
Yeah,
Wait. Okay, like I'm
gonna let you have your moment. I'm gonna let you have your moment, but at the same time, I gotta be me. You ain't gonna have me out here talking to a puppet, like, bro. No, love you dearly, but not.
All the love is on this side of the screen, fam.
All the love. That was fun though. Thank you. That was funny.
I
I think
really
it's
like. I'm really sick though, so like I need to like
yeah,
lay
no,
down.
I'm getting ready to go make short ribs. I am not joking. The slow cooker is calling my name. I'm making mac and cheese too. My good mac and cheese. I'm ready to eat.
I'm not a big cheese person, so hey, good
It's
luck with that.
okay. It's okay. My mac and cheese is famous. Every time my daughter asks me to make it for her school stuff, it goes like in 30 seconds. Like if you don't get there, you're just ass out. Like it's just so good.
You want to hear something funny about my mac and cheese? Excuse me.
What?
So I don't eat cheese of any kind. That's just a thing for me.
You lactose intolerant?
I'm not. No,
I'll
have some yogurt right now. Like
okay, you just don't like cheese.
I just don't like cheese specifically. My son
Mm-hmm.
loves cheese. So I've had to make a bunch of baked mac and cheese. And my son has told me that my baked mac and cheese is just as good as his mother's, even though I can't taste it to know. So I'm not trying to suck my own dick, but yes, I am. Slurp, slurp. I'm sorry. Okay, we're almost done. I'm sorry.
All right. You want to give your socials, which is not LeVar Squirtin?
Things you don't see every day with Chris Taliaferro and Serotonin on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, etc. I've made a bunch of new videos and new things. I made a new video this morning. The archive is great. If you want to hear some stuff from Sarah, my lord, just go listen to our podcast and she'll put you guys on some game. She's super smart. Yeah. So anyway, but yeah, that's where you can find me, whatever. Yeah.
Cool. All right. I'm Kinda Cole on Facebook and Twitter and Blue Sky, I think. And then I'm Kai Fly Mommy on Instagram and on Threads. I reply back, follow me. If you want us to talk about something on the show, like hit any of us up. I think Sarah will be back maybe next week. I hope so.
I'm hoping. I was liking the 3-person dynamic because
I have a couple of people I've asked to be guests. I am not going to say who they are, but they might just pop up on the next few shows. Hopefully, they are very busy people, so you just got to catch them when you catch them. So hopefully we have some guests.
I tried to get children's book author Sarah.
Oh yeah.
I was about to say Sarah, Sienna Robinson on the show.
We would love to have her because we should talk about Black girls and black hair.
Oh, come on. Sienna, let's do it. Come on.
That's an important subject, and it has such a huge impact on Black girls' self-esteem and their daily lives. And so if she can come on, we will promote the book and her and everything. We will make like all sorts of things. So tell her, come on with it.
No, hey, listen, I'm gonna tell you what we gotta do. Clip this part, not for promotion. Clip it so I can send it to her. And
all right, I'll do that.
She'll show up.
Yes, because like black hair. Y'all seen the pictures of my daughter with her afro, and everybody loves it. But like black hair, black girls, black hair, it's such a thing.
It's a whole topic
in this country, and everything that Black girls have to go through.
Different hair grades. Whether you're talking about someone who may have some mixed heritage and a quote unquote better hair grade. And when I say better, I'm not saying this.
I don't even want let's say. I'm gonna get into it.
With Tisha Campbell, it's good hair.
I love that scene. That's one of my favorite scenes, good or bad hair. And did you know Spike Lee's dad wrote that song? Did you know that?
Wait, what didn't I know?
He wrote that song. Spike Lee's dad
wrote it. Who wrote it? Spike
Lee's father wrote that jazz song. Yeah, look it up. Anyway.
Today I learned something. Spike Lee's father wrote that song? That's crazy. I'm going to call my sister later today and let her know. Yes. But you know who wrote that song?
Yes. Insane. Anyway. All right. Thank you guys for watching. We'll be back next week. We good. Next week.
I'm good. I'm all the way in. I'm all the way in.
See you guys next week. Thank you as always for watching. And like I said, send us whatever you want us to talk about. Peace, y'all. I'm hitting the button.